In a fresh development in the Air India urination case, now the lawyers for Shankar Mishra have claimed before Delhi's Patiala House Court that it was the lady who had peed on herself and not Shankar Mishra. Now, we'll get to know as to what is the basis of this particular claim and why this statement has been made at this point of time. I have with me Ishani Sharma and Akshat Bajpai, the legal team for Shankar Mishra. First of all, first question to you is, what is the basis of this statement and why is it coming at this particular stage?
See, we were hinting at this for the longest time since the inception of all of this happening. I have been saying that the woman was sitting at 9A and there was another woman at 9C and the man was standing. Apparently the complainant says that the man was standing in the aisle and she got impacted and not the woman at 9C, which defies the basic laws of physics. I've been saying this is not making sense anyhow.
Can you show me the airplane plan and explain it to our viewers as to how is it possible?
See, this is how this is. So here this woman is standing, sleeping, right? And this is another woman here. This man gets up from this seat, comes here, and according to her, urinates from here, which reaches her here, not impacting this person here. And this, we are not talking about some ordinary water, that water spilled. So the person sitting or the woman sitting in 9C was, was okay with it, and the one in 9C, 9A only complained, right? We're talking about urine. अगर एक ड्रॉप भी गिरा होता, if there would have been any contact, she would have been equally enraged. So this was always what we were saying. We just did not disclose that the woman sitting, why and how did she get wet. That we wanted Shankar Mishra himself to speak out when he speaks out for himself. And again, the trial has not yet started, right?
Akshat, another statement that was made by Mr. Gupta was that the lady was suffering from a medical disease. Did you guys research on this particularly, and what is this? If you could explain that particular submission before the
See,
court.
there is a strong possibility of the lady suffering from urinary incontinence. When we have read about the complainant, we are not doctors, we are not medical practitioners to be super qualified to understand it from a prima facie view. After we have read on her profile, we have learned that she is a very senior veteran Bharatnatyam dancer. Now, there is a strong possibility of it happening. The vicious way in which our client has been condemned completely without a fair trial, and when the investigation is going on, it is for the police to investigate all the angles instead of just looking at the accused as a convict, because that part is to be done by the court. Now this can't be completely ruled out, so the police also needs to investigate this angle. Moreover, the fact that the gentleman sitting at 8A claims to be an eyewitness, but on specific query by the media, he says, I haven't seen the incident. So if he's not seen the incident, it is wrong for the media to be labeling him as an eyewitness. He's not an eyewitness.
And also
He's seen events post the incident.
And he himself admitted that when the lady told him that this was
That's
urine,
right.
so
He
got to know that the what has drenched the woman is urine.
Is urine.
Yeah. So
Another question to you is that when the court has dismissed the bail application, it made certain observations pertaining to Shankar Mishra. Are you going to oppose this or challenge this before a higher court?
that
Uh,
that is
seeking our remedies before the superior
legal
courts.
Yeah.
But do you
And-
agree with those observations that have been made?
Well,
Not at all.
at this stage, because the matter is still sub judice, we'll be taking our chances before the sessions court accordingly. As far as the statement, and also we had an interaction with today for the very first time we could really speak to our client, because he came here and he was immediately taken in the JC. We've also learned about the 9C passenger. I want to pose it to the media. Why does the media not want to know the version of the passenger sitting at 9C? Because we have learned that she's also an elderly woman. She is she's fairly well built, and the timing of this incident in the afternoon at about lunch time when this has happened, the if you would have already seen the complaint, it says people were sleeping. I mean, a business class seat, once somebody is sleeping, as Ishani was pointing out, it is not really possible.
actually walk there, yeah?
How could have somebody urinated to an extent that it drenches everything from back to shoes to everything? That's a part of an investigation. If there is an issue, I think the media should highlight it. But to be just going after our client and like condemning him like this is not fair, because he deserves a fair trial under the Constitution of India, and we would request the media to take a more balanced and nuanced view of the situation, so that our fundamental rights are not abridged.
Last and final question before I let you go is that there was a delay in filing of that complaint from the side of the complainant, and yes, you definitely called it a malicious afterthought. But what has also been said is that since the complaint was filed late, that then why did a complaint come in if at all the woman had only urinated on herself?
That is a very important question, and that is something which the media, if it wants to actually get the truth out, it should delve upon, because there are some things which are not meeting the common sense of all of us, which one of which is that there is a plane full of people. There are crew members, there are everybody, the plane has a lot of people, right? There a man is being unjust to a woman or an elderly woman, and the common consciousness of all the people is at rest. Like, nobody is standing up and saying that no, this is wrong and this should not happen. And once this is highlighted by media, the entire country is enraged. So the people who were in the plane also more or less belong to this common consciousness. They would not have let something like this happen in front of their own eyes. First thing. Secondly, the cabin crew of Air India has been a reputed airline and our national carrier for such a long time. So we have to deal with that also with a little bit of respect, that if they did not push one of their passengers to a corner, that is because they realized that there was nothing wrong with that passenger. The injustice was not meted out against the woman, but against the man, right? So that was also an aspect which they did not look out for. And if the complaint came after a subsequent amount of time, since day one, the lady's problem was with the compensation amount. First with an upgrade, then on compensation amount. But it was very fiduciary in nature, rather than she was enraged or traumatized about what has happened to her. First thing. Secondly, we did, there was a lot of other things that we received from the family now, because they've come to the families, actually saying that Air India did actually, that if you don't give us an increased compensation, we would get all of this into the media. So it can also be a part of something, it can also be a part of something bigger. It can also be, Air India can also be, Air India can also be under attack here. Okay. So it's the reputation of a lot of things together.
But if we are saying that it's the lady who has urinated on herself, then why was the financial
we are not like there is a possibility of it happening.
Okay.
Police needs to investigate that.
Okay.
For my client to be condemned like this in public is unfair to my client.
My question is that if at all it is a stance, if at all it is a possibility.
Please read up on medical literature. Yes.
Let me come to my question.
Yes.
If at all this is the particular stance and this is a statement that we can take it as a possibility,
yes,
then why was a compensation paid by your client to that particular lady? Is
very good question.
Yeah, that's also important.
Please appreciate. Today, after the legal interview we also came to know that my client was woken up from sleep after 8 hours. So it's not immediately when all of this is happening. He was woken up from his sleep after 8 hours. Now I put it to the media, I put it to you. If, say for example, a man is woken up and 3-4 people say that, do you remember? He says, no, I really don't remember. And they say, no, you have done this. At 30,000 feet above, what options does he have? He's trying his best in the most bona fide manner to assuage the hurt feelings of the victim. Whatever has happened, he's trying his best. He really done. But please appreciate, when you make it an offense that really needs to be looked at from the lens of how the law has demarcated it. It really can't be on somebody's whims and fancies. And the aspect which Ishani was just pointing out, media has failed to realize that there are actually two complaints. See, the incident is from 26th of November. There are two complaints on the 27th of November, and the media should investigate. One is from the complainant herself, and one from the son-in-law, where the last line of the email of the son-in-law, it's a direct threat to Air India. Either you pay me, refund me, or I'm going to expose you to the media. In both these emails, surprisingly, this aspect of wanting the arrest of the alleged accused is missing. Suddenly, in the complaint on the 20th, this aspect for arrest comes for the very first time. See, there needs to be a consistent thought. Yeah. If your feelings are so hurt, you must have insisted that please register an FIR, because that could have really ensured a fair trial for me as well. The fact is that by the WhatsApp chats that we released, this whatever arrangement you had with the company, see, nobody can put money in your account. If you had so much of a problem, you should have immediately refunded it. That also happens sometime in 19th of December. And this 20th December complaint is a marked improvement. What Ishani has been pointing out, a malicious afterthought from what was stated on the 27th of November.
So so the remedies, their hurt feelings and their they're asking for compensation. These are two different things that are parallelly going on, which there is no consistency in. First things. Second things, they've been constantly lying. In the bail trial, here, there, they accused the client's father of threatening them, which I wanted to clear. That's why I was making this attempt. They showed a number which was of some Gautam Kumar Mishra, and they were lying so blatantly that Shankar Mishra, son of Shyam Naval Mishra, was written in that court document. The father is not Gautam Kumar Mishra, and it's all across the it's all across the spectrum now, all across the media now, that the father threatened. The father doesn't know who Gautam Kumar Mishra is, and if there is one. And then they said this is a matter of investigation for the IO. Everything is a matter of investigation for the IO. You put on extremely baseless accusations, paint them across the across the media, and then you say it's a matter of investigation. First thing. Secondly, and they are the first people who threatened the professor to go to the media, and that too in lieu of a compensation. They didn't want justice. So I think that's pretty much.
So these were the lawyers for Shankar Mishra quizzing after all of these questions were posed to them. They have answered all of them, and in fact various questions had emerged out with these arguments that were made, and all of them have now been answered. Only to CNN News 18, I'm Ananya Bhatnagar with video journalist Ravindra for CNN News 18 from the National Capital.